Welcome in to Stay in Bounds, the sports podcast of the people. I'm your host, Kari P, here alongside Howard and KY. How y'all doing, man?
What's good?
Doing great. How y'all doing?
Yo, I know it may be a little late, but it's better late than never. Let's get into this Super Bowl recap. What a great game it was. Final score 23-20. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna let y'all take it where y'all want to take it. You started off, KY.
I'm just saying. One play, bro. One play. They were. Oh man, I know you can't get mad. I mean, there's so many things that could have gone into the Bengals possibly winning it. I mean, you could blame it on the refs. That last drive, they didn't call nothing all game. They waited till the Rams were in the red zone to just let them fly. They felt like, oh shit, we got to start asserting ourselves now with the game on the line. You could bring up the 3rd-and-1 run with the backup running back. You know, that was ridiculous. I mean, you got a Pro Bowl running back, but you got P. Ryan, you know what I'm saying, back there. And then you could bring up that last play of the game. If Burrow had a little bit more time, he had Jamar Chase wide open down the sideline because he had Ramsey on his back. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that you could take away. But at the end of the day, the Rams defense stepped up. Aaron Donald, cemented his legacy. Win or loss, he cemented his legacy. I mean, dude had two of the most dominant plays to end the game that I've ever seen in it, especially on that stage on the Super Bowl. One arm tackled P. Ryan to stop him from getting the first down with a forearm. He did it with a forearm. And used his body weight and just sucked him in like an octopus, you know. And then that last play and just threw Burrow around like a rag doll. Cooper Kupp, I mean, hey, brother, I doubted you earlier on in the show. I doubted you all season, but you not that it means anything, but you've earned my respect. He's a dog. You know what I'm saying? That final drive, Stafford and him just locked in and said, we're going to do this backyard football style. Me and you versus the Bengals defense. That's what it was. Every play. You knew, and that's the scary thing is when you know it's going to Cooper Kupp and they still can't stop him.
Yeah.
You know, they even had a touchdown called back next play. The play after that, he beat Eli Apple. You know, so I think the Bengals showed a lot of fight. You know what I'm saying? They actually could have possibly won it. You know, I mean, there was a controversial touchdown by T. Higgins with the little face mask thing. If they would have saw it,
controversial.
I mean, it was blatant when they showed it on TV, but it is what it is. You know, they already surpassed everyone's expectations. So now the expectations is, you know, AFC Championship game for them next year. This year, the expectation was possibly make a playoff. They went all the way to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, yeah, you would have loved to see the Cinderella story win. That's what everyone loves to see, you know, because it's like the underdog. But for the Rams, too many things lined up for it to happen. The game's in LA, that fire-ass halftime show, all the stuff on the line, Donald's legacy, Stafford, his first season, not in Detroit, wins a ring. Like, it just, I'm pretty sure that's what the NFL wanted. I'm not saying that they have anything to do with who wins, but I'm pretty sure they were happy at the end of the day with who wanted it. I'm not going to speculate that on this show.
I'm waiting for it. I'm
not going to be the reason we get shut down, right? I'm not speculating nothing. But it just made sense for them to win. So, congrats. And I'm sorry to all the listeners that I sold on the Bengals pulling this one off.
Howard, go ahead. Tell us how you feel about this game.
Yeah, I just want to say, I was right. You know, I picked the Rams. Yeah, everyone liked the Cinderella story, but I mean, let's be honest with you. Like, you're saying all the calls that could have went Cincinnati's way. What about OBJ getting hurt? Like, if he doesn't get hurt, this game is not close at all. Like, this game gets out of hand real quick because they had no answer for OBJ and Cooper Kupp at the same part because they were obviously moving everything to Cooper Kupp, leaving OBJ by himself, which if he would have played the whole game, this would have been probably a 2-touchdown win. I mean, and it's nothing against the Bengals. They're just outmatched. I mean, that lineup, that's probably one of the toughest teams you're going to see on paper in the next 6 Super Bowls. Like, I mean, there's only a handful of teams that looked better on paper than them. And, yeah, you can't really fault the Bengals. They shouldn't have been there. There's 2 teams that are better than them. I could have went there and put up a better fight. But, you know, it's good for Joe. I don't know, experience. I like to see him doing the handshake thing with the other players. Hi, I'm Joe. You see that?
Yeah. So to me, the Bengals defense played well enough to win. Like they stopped the run game.
They did do that.
There was no run game.
Yeah, they shut down the run game.
Like there was like every time they handed the ball off to whether it be Michelle or whether it was Akers. Only effective one was Henderson, and that's because he was catching the ball.
Yeah, as I say,
yeah,
he wasn't effective at all.
So like with that, they played well enough to win. It came down to what you personally always said, the line. The line just couldn't hold up.
And who can make adjustments? I mean, the line wasn't holding up. The line was never going to hold up. There was no way. I see them through 3 people at Aaron Donald, and Floyd would get back there, or Vaughn would get back there. A'Shawn Robinson was stuffing the run. It was all working. And then they started making adjustments in the second half, the Bengals on defense, But like to Howard's point, I did forget about the OBJ injury because if you see when they came out, they were humming off the rip. Like OBJ's doing his thing, but then if you leave Cooper Kupp, he's going to do his thing, and then OBJ's doing his thing back and forth. But as soon as OBJ got hurt, it stalled. And I hope he comes back healthy and everything like that. But actually, it's not the worst thing that he got hurt because it actually showed how significant his role on this Super Bowl team was. Because as soon as he went out, the team went stagnant. Couldn't run. They couldn't pass. I mean, they were desperate. They did the Philly special or like that. That's how desperate they were to get something going. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but he did tear the same ACL twice. I mean,
true.
I mean, how many times did Derrick Rose tear the ACL? You know what I'm saying? Like
with the same one, but like as a receiver.
But this one was non-contact. It's different if you get blown up in the knee and tear it. But or no, maybe it is scary that it was non-contact.
So let me ask y'all this, right? Let me ask y'all this. Like you said that you felt like Cincinnati was outmatched. But let me ask you, if Cincinnati had a better line, do you think they would still been outmatched?
No.
I think they would have won that game.
How much better of an offensive line though? Because like they need like about 5 pieces. So like, are we gonna give them 5 like really good starters?
Do they need 5 pieces or do they need a Rashad Slater?
If the thing is, I don't even think over the course of that entire game, because Darnold don't get tired or like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think to effectively run this type of offense that they want to run against the Rams defensive line, you have to go with like a platoon approach. You got to keep fresh legs coming in there. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do because you can't. Even if you had like Zach Martin and what's old boy from Indianapolis?
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. Quentin Martin or something like that.
No, not Quentin.
No, Quincy Nelson.
Quincy Nelson, Rashad Slater, Tristan. If you had a line like that, right? But that's it. There is no subs for them. That's it. Over the course of the game, they're going to get worn out. They're going to start strong, but they're going to get worn out because Darnold's coming at 130% every play. You know what I'm saying? And then he's got Von Miller and Leonard Floyd to leech off the sides. Like you'd have to have I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think it would have made it easier for them to get time to do what they wanted to do. Yes. Would they have pulled it off? I think so. Like if they did have a bet, I think they could have pulled it off because you saw that last play. If Burrow had half a second more, because he wanted to throw the ball to Chase regardless. If he had half a second more just to get it off, they could have scored. But then Matty would have had some time left too.
Let's say one of them guys. You don't think one of them guys could have gave him extra second? That's all he needed. That's the problem. Like one of them guys could have got him an extra second against Aaron Donald.
Well, go ahead. I don't know about that because it was a one-on-one. That's where they messed up on that play, right? He had one-on-one with Quinn Spain because they are expecting to get the ball quick. That's where they messed up. Honestly, you could find the best guard in the league. They might get beat that bad because they're one-on-one with him. Like that's how this is how spectacular Aaron Donald is. And that's not like no disrespect to anyone, but if you're gonna play one-on-one, like that's gonna happen against anyone.
But you need Joe. You need Joe to have 4 seconds instead of 2. If you go watch that replay and you see that move that Aaron Donald did, he got through that too so fast. It was like 0.5.
But they were talking about this controversy behind that because was he offsides though? If you rewatch it, they showed it that he might have been offsides, but they were going to make that call. You know what I'm saying? Because that would have shifted the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But like Howard touched on right that. Hey, maybe 2 people on him, but 1v1. That's how dominant he is, and that's how good, because he's not the tallest dude, and he's certainly not the biggest dude in the field. But his hand fighting and his quick twitch movement, whatever it is so good that he could shift his body one way and go another way at that big and that strong and that powerful like that. So he'd make one move that way and you go that way and he's going that way, he's gone. Because he's just gonna keep you out the way. You know what I'm saying? And it was like an act of God. That's what God wanted to happen. It's the perfect ending to the story that Aaron Donald cements the Super Bowl, yada yada. So
it's terrible
so
play.
Cincinnati going to the draft next year, right? What should they draft? Nothing but linemen?
Yes.
Yes, there's nothing. If they go and they draft another offensive piece, that'd be negligent to Joe Burrow's development. You need line pieces. You need to spend some of that money because they got some cap space. They got some guys coming off the books. Go and get a veteran to lead the line because there's no veteran leadership on that line. You know what I'm saying? Get a vet that can go in there and lead the line, and get some young pieces. You know what I'm saying? You're only going to – what is it? It wasn't just this game that this has been the story of the whole season. You know what I'm saying?
Because what they had,
it's not just Aaron Donald. It hasn't been just Aaron Donald this game that has exploited them. It's been all season. They played weak defensive lines and made them look like superstars. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you invested, hundreds of millions of dollars in your defense. You've got the offense you want, the 3 receivers, the running back, the quarterback. You got everything you need. The defensive line is set too. I like that group they got. The only thing lacking now is the offensive line. If they negate that again this year and go and get luxuries instead of necessities, then you're playing with fire. Because you see Joe, he sprained his MCL over like that in the Super Bowl. It could have been worse. He could have tore his ACL again too.
Yeah, they definitely need to. And I feel like they also need to get the offense better where he could get them like little cross routes. I feel like a lot of their offense just seem like they just want to go downfield all the time.
Yeah, their scheme is kind of like one dimensional in a sense. It's like it's all go routes sometimes. And Boyd's the guy in the middle, but you don't look to him. So it's all go routes with Higgins and Chase, and they rely on their after catch ability to move the chain sometimes. I peeped that too. Their offensive scheme, like with them two, is kind of like one dimensional. Yeah. It's like, all right, you're gonna go straight or freelance it, and I'm gonna try and get you when you're open, and make a play with your legs.
So the other day at work, right? We had this conversation, right? In the last 20 years, right? The top 3 corners. For me, I said I'll take Darrelle Revis number 1. Yeah. I'll take Charles Woodson before he got converted to a safety. And then I said I'll take Jalen Ramsey over a Champ Bailey over all of them. But even though Jalen Ramsey got cooked, would y'all put him in that position?
No, I can't do it.
Against the champ?
Look, this is the thing. Have you ever seen a guy this big, this physical? Most corners don't want to tackle. Okay, and he travels.
Listen. It's the same argument with Jamal Adams. Is Jamal Adams a safety or is he a box safety, like a linebacker? It's the same thing with Buda. It's the same thing with Buda Baker. Is he a safety, a coverage safety, or is he a box safety that plays downhill? You know what I'm saying? So with Jalen Ramsey is some kind of – he's like a Derwin James. He's like a hybrid kind of – he plays corner, but he can play – he's big enough to play linebacker. He's fast enough to play corner. He's strong enough to make open tackles as a safety. So as far as just classifying him as a corner, I think, I can't put him above them. But as an all-around defensive athlete as a whole, he's making that case of climbing up the ladder and getting there because he's so much more than just a corner. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him get burnt numerous times because he's so aggressive,
But
I've seen him make up for that with tackling, Derrick Henry in open space. Guys like guys huge like that. Jonathan Taylor in open space, flying across the middle and cracking tight ends that are twice his size, So as a corner, I don't think so. I don't think he's cracking that class anytime soon. But as a defensive,
you don't think he had top 3 corner of the last 20 years?
Not yet.
Of the last 20 years, no. Because I would take Patrick Peterson. If we're talking about just coverage corners, I would take Patrick Peterson over Jalen Ramsey. His resume as a corner. We're talking about corners, not defensive playmaking ability. Yes, he makes the sexy plays. He's knocking guys' heads off or like that. But his coverage isn't all that great. He gets beat a lot, sometimes. But the thing is, he can get beat because his line is already back there on top of the quarterback while he's getting beat. So it's like
he's doing this in Jacksonville too.
Yeah,
it's not like he wasn't doing this in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Like you've been with the Rams his whole career. Like he did the exact same shit he was doing now in Jacksonville. So I'm sorry. I understand you got to stick tall. Your man Patrick Peterson, Arizona, all that. But you got to miss me with that one, my boy.
So make your case then. Well, why is he a top 3 corner over guys that are in the Hall of Fame right now?
Talking Champ Bailey. Like, come on.
So you don't think Jalen Ramsey gonna be in the Hall of Fame eventually?
No,
we're talking right now.
I'm asking you, make your case for why he's better than Champ Bailey right now or the last 20 years.
I already did. To me, we have not seen a corner like him. We have not seen a corner this big, this physical. He tackles. He can cover one-on-one. Yes, any corner gonna get burnt. The corner is the hardest position out here. If you play long enough, any corner is gonna get burnt. But I swear to you, the same way that they talk about Darrelle Revis of the yesteryear, where they said every wide receiver say, yes, Darrelle Revis was their hardest matchup. I'm sure all these wide receivers now are going to say that Jalen Ramsey was theirs. Jalen Ramsey, all right, the Super Bowl, yes. But other than that, he hasn't really given up that many 100-yard games. I think, honestly, the only person he really gave it up to is D-Hop. So like, if you want to be truthful, Jalen Ramsey is the top 3 corner of the last 20 years.
He's on the projection, but I'm not going to put him over a man like Champ, who had 10, 12 years of doing this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your argument is before it's time. I can't stamp on it because, like how I said, he's on the projection. When he's all said and done, when Jalen Ramsey hangs up, all said and done, for sure he will be in that class. Right now, I can't put him in there right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
he will be in that class eventually.
I was taking this to lead up into my next question. A quote unquote top 3 corner of the last 20 years got burnt how he did in the Super Bowl. If they would have lost this game, would that have been on him completely?
The Jamar Chase thing?
No, it's not even just Jamar Chase, because we saw the Jamar Chase, that situation. We saw the T. Higgs, so you could fake whatever.
I was going to say the T. Higgs.
That one cancels out. That was a wash.
Even the other Jamar Chase that he almost gave up for that big play, where he tried to cut under.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah. Do you think if they would have lost, this would have been more on him than anybody?
No, it would have been on Stafford.
No, it would have been on Stafford because I mean, they bring you here for a reason. They gave up the farm system for you over that. You're telling me that even with Cooper Kupp out there, you can't find a way to get him the ball to get y'all down the field. And it would be on the offensive play calling. How come you can't run? How come you guys can't get an effective running game going to set it up? So there'd be a lot of factors into it. It'd be on McVay and them. Jalen Ramsey would factor into it, but nobody would just be putting it solely on him. You know what I'm saying? Even if Jamar Chase beat him and caught that touchdown, I don't think it would be solely on him because it always falls on the quarterback's shoulders when they lose.
At the end of the day, Matt Stafford would have still had the ball with a minute left. So if he doesn't it's going back on him. Unless it was like Jamar Chase scored it at the end of regulation to win the game, like some Richard Sherman type thing. Like that's the only way. That's the headline.
But, so speaking of Matt Stafford, where do his legacy go from here? Where do y'all think the Super Bowl win took his legacy to?
He's a Hall of Fame.
He's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because we talked about this on last year. He's like 34.
12. Yeah,
he's 34, so he's probably got like maybe 3 more years. You know what I'm saying? Of like,
honestly, I don't know why he doesn't play like 2 more, play his contract out and hang it up. Like,
Richard
doesn't
Sherman,
he have like 3 years, 2-3 years? So yeah, if he pads stats for the next 2-3 years, it's just adding to his thing.
So Richard Sherman came out recently, and he actually made the case that why Matt Stafford shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, but I think but basically, it's not a direct quote, but he basically was saying like all Matthew Stafford got to prove is that he was in a pass heavy league and he got the passing numbers, but he don't have any of the accolades. He ain't got like the MVPs. I think he only been an All-Pro once, and like I mean, yes, he won a Super Bowl, but at that same case, Eli won 2 Super Bowls. But people don't want to give Eli that respect of he's a Hall of Famer. So what do y'all think about that?
I'll say this for. Oh, go ahead, Howard. Go ahead. I'll go after you.
Here's something I don't like about the All Pro thing. First off, Josh Allen didn't make the All Pro list this year, so I
deservingly not.
The way, like the way
I'll play it.
Like no, the All Pro thing, I don't care. It's really hard to win an MVP when your team is 6-10 consistently. So like, there's so much he could have done in Detroit, but his team was that bad around him that he couldn't even be put in these races. Like if you actually look at it, the passing, like yards, he was up top 5 almost every single year, passing yards. I mean,
but
can't
he also
win
on a horrible team. So it's kind of like Dak last year, right? Dak he was on pace before he got hurt. Like to have
he's gonna throw for like 6,000 yards or something.
Yeah, he was on pace to have some crazy numbers before he got hurt. But that's because he was playing from behind a lot of times. So do you feel like that also factors into Matthew Stafford's number?
I'll say this for Matthew Stafford, he has one thing that's working in his favor, right? Besides the era with Megatron over like that, he's not the GM and not the owner of the team. So he can't help who the team decides to surround him around. And even though he was surrounded by mediocre talent, he still put up stats. I think playing from behind plays into it because it changes the scheme of the game. You have to pass more, like you said. And the other thing about the Super Bowl is it'd be one thing if he left Detroit on his own volition and teamed up with McVay and the Rams. He was traded from Detroit to Los Angeles. No, he was traded there. He has no say in where he can go. He doesn't have enough trade clause, right?
Yeah.
So
you really think like they're just going to trade him? It's not like it's not a situation that he didn't want to go to. Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure he was happy when he heard he was getting traded to the Rams. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying it's not. He can't trade himself off Detroit, and he can't help that the Rams traded for him. So he shows up into an offense that's ready to win now, and he won. So I mean, that's working in his favor. A lot of variables are out of his control over like that, and he just showed up and played ball, and that's what he did. I think he has a good shot at making the first ballot. I don't know about being first ballot, but I think eventually he can get in there because there's guys with no rings that are in the Hall of Fame that are quarterbacks.
True, because it's kind of like how you.
I think Richard Sherman's just mad that he threw that moon ball on his team to kick him out of getting his second ring with Tom. Like, I think that's why he said that because, like, that's a really bad comment. Like,
I mean, it's
really not.
It's interesting. To me, it's an interesting fact when he said it, and it's not like he's saying like it. To me, if the stuff he was saying wasn't like true, it'd be like, yeah, Richard Sherman just being a hater. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like he's like he didn't get these accolades. Like, yeah, he didn't because like he couldn't. Like, there was no way they were ever gonna. Even if Matt Stafford statistically had the best year you could possibly have as a quarterback or anything, if they went 8-8, they're not gonna give the MVP to the 8-8 team. You know, and it doesn't matter how good, he did. They're just not gonna do that. So like he had 0% chance of ever getting any of these awards. So it's like, are you really going to fault Matt Stafford for putting up numbers and trying and dying in a place in Detroit? How many people would have?
Yeah,
how
that's
many people would have asked to leave at 8 years?
When he was in Detroit,
I'm done.
When he was in Detroit, they had to score at least 40 points a game to be close. That's how atrocious the defense was. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's got to go out there and score 40 a game. It was like Dak, like you said last year. Dak had to go out there and score 50 points a game with that Cowboys defense.
All right, so a sad situation. End of the first half, OBJ got hurt. What do y'all think is next for OBJ's future? And do y'all still think he can demand some money in the free agency market? I was looking at it. We got a lot of the top receivers in this free agency class toward the ACL with a Godwin, OBJ. It was one more. I'm forgetting. Whatever.
So it's confirmed his ACL is torn?
Well, they haven't confirmed it yet, but
they did.
They confirmed?
It's the same. It's the same one too.
Oh, okay.
Well, that changes everything because is he going to be ready to even play next season at any point? Because this happened like happened late,
He'll probably be able to play in like December, January at the best. At the best.
I think if that's what's got to get Aaron Donald to not retire, I think they give him a team-friendly deal, a 2-year deal with a team option at the end of the first year. You know what I'm saying? Something like because you got to be realistic. You know, they're not going to pay him top dollar salary to rehab all year. You know what I'm saying? Either they backload it, and when he's healthy to play that second year for the full year, that's when he gets paid like that, or I don't know. That's probably his only option. You know what I'm saying? And if I was his agent, I would explain to him that these are probably our best options. Take a 2-year deal with a team option for that next year, backloaded. You know what I'm saying? Have an incentive-laden contract that first year. You know,
So
if you
my
could
thing
play
is,
4 games or something like that.
so the Rams can only offer him somewhere around the $5 million mark, right? Do you think? I'm asking. Do you think another team will offer him more to try to get his services, more in a longer term deal?
If somebody thinks
Or
that
do
they
you
can
think he should
rehab
just?
him, if they think that they can rehab him and get maybe 6-7 games out of him, maybe 5 or less. I mean, because Will Fuller got $10 million last year, and he was going to miss the first 4 games of the season. You know what I'm saying? And he played 2 games and had a broken finger and bagged $10 million. Receivers are always a premium thing to pay for. So will somebody do it? I feel like the league has this perception of OBJ already. So it's his reputation is a little murky outside of that Los Angeles Rams organization. So I think if any team does do it, it'd be the Rams.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he was on pace to win the MVP. If they was going to keep guarding Cooper Cup like that, he was going to have a day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for OBJ because he just lost a lot of money, a ridiculous amount of money with that injury. Because honestly, the best scenario for him, the team that wins the most and the people that win the most is the Rams, unfortunately, right? Because they're gonna be like, hey, come back, and then we'll load it with incentives, and then you can sign your big contract the next year, wherever you want. But we get your services back for a playoff run if they're in that spot. So it sucks for OBJ because he's probably in a bag because Devontae's contract would have set it right, and we're guessing $20 million a year, and he's the next best receiver. So it's anywhere between 20 and 10 he would have got. So
That's what I said. Whatever
tough.
Allen Robinson gets, he'd probably get a little bit more than him, because you got to think about the name value too, because he sells jerseys. You know, kids love him and stuff like that. There's a lot that comes with him.
So
he doesn't get hurt.
So this is the thing with OBJ, right? He's 29 years old, right? He'll come back sometime next year. He's 29. He'll come back sometime next year. He'll be 30. That time he come back and play. Right. What we saw the last time he tore his ACL, it took him about a year to get back into the routine. So he'll probably be about 31, 32 before he's back to being himself again. So if you're the Rams, you still got Robert Woods, who's still rehabbing his, and he'll be back a lot sooner. Do you even want OBJ back?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, like I said, you got to give him. You have to. OBJ has to be reasonable. You know what I'm saying? These negotiations. Yeah. I mean, obviously, try and get yourself paid as much money, because we don't know what OBJ is going to come back after this injury. It's the same knee and everything. Because he's a receiver that relies on his explosiveness, and he makes a lot of short range cuts and everything like that. So he might not be able to do the same things he was going to do after tearing it a second time. So he's got to be realistic as well. But if someone's going to throw money at him that's not Los Angeles, I'd take it, because that might be your last big payday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he's got to be realistic as well. And for the Rams' sake, I mean, I forgot about Robert Woods. He's not a trash receiver. He's a decent receiver. He knows the system, so he could pick us as slack while OBJ's on the sidelines.
So let me ask y'all this also. All right, moving on. Do y'all think Cooper Kupp deserved to win the MVP of this game?
Yes.
He
deserves to win MVP of the league.
Without a doubt.
Yes. Are y'all in this group that don't think Aaron Donald even had the case?
He scored the 2-game winning, the game winning touchdown. All right, Aaron Donald, yes, it's great, but honestly, that 4th and 1 to me is more on the Bengals offensive coordinator than anyone. 4th and 1, your season's on the line. Why do you have one guard over? I don't care how quick of a pass it's supposed to be. Why is there only one person on the best defensive player in the league on a 4th and 1 Super Bowl situation? To me, that's mind-boggling. Aaron Donald probably didn't believe it when it happened. He was probably what?
And then how do you even on 3rd and 1, how is the ball not in the hands of your all-pro player? You see, when the Rams were on 4th and 1 and their own 30, they put the ball in Cooper Kupp's hand on a handoff or a sweep or like that. They could have did the same thing with Jamar Chase, and he probably could have got that 1 yard at least, at the very minimum. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, that's play calling. Donald would have had to do like he made a lot of impacts in this game, but it didn't end up in the stats as far as like sacks and stuff like that.
I think he had 2. I think he had 4 tackles or something like that.
But look at 2 touchdowns, 98 yards, 7 catches, right? 7.
And then that legendary drive to ice it, like
and that catch. I mean, in the back of the end zone, that catch is nice. Like
the thing is, he caught 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One got called back, and then he caught another one. Like, and then I'm pretty sure they are all looking at like, yo, this dude should have won the rookie. The MVP of the league anyway. It's got to go to him. Darnold would have had to do some like spectacular. He would have to have like maybe a strip sack, forced fumble or something like that, a defensive touchdown. Like, he had a case, but when Cooper Kupp caught that touchdown, I was like, yeah, it's going to him. And if they give it to Stafford, that would have been some BS because Stafford
come on.
Yeah, because some of them passes to Cooper Kupp were in the ground, and Cooper was sliding his hands in there, grabbing them. I mean, caught it in the back of the end zone, got blown up, held on to like.
I had no problem with his first interception because it's like you're punting anyways. Throw it in the end zone. Maybe your guy catches it. Cool with that. I have no problem with that first interception. A lot of people think it's like the worst thing. They were going to punt the ball and probably get the ball at 25 anyway. So, like, why not take a chance? The second one was pretty bad, Matt. Like,
but the second one really wasn't on him as much. I mean, yeah, you overthrew the guy, but
he's zipping it into Savage. Like, come on, you got to know who you're throwing to. Like, the dude, like, he's not that good.
And then the dude almost did it again. The dude, Fournette, I was like, oh my God, get this dude off the field, bro.
Yeah, so like you got,
and then he missed Van Jefferson on a lot of deep balls or like that.
No, well, Van Jefferson quit on a lot of routes. Like that actually was upsetting me. Like they're actually throwing you the ball, dude. Like keep running to your routes.
All right, so let me ask y'all. Let's get into the controversial call, the controversial holding. Do y'all think that call should have been called at that moment of the game?
Yes, because it was a makeup call. If you remember previously, the play before.
That's what I'm saying. If they're gonna call it on the previous one.
Well, they missed it.
You can't do makeup calls with the game on the line.
Yes,
like
you have to, because that call that they missed would have been a touchdown. Would have been a touchdown hands down. And they didn't realize it until everyone started booing, and they actually saw it on the jumbotron. Like, oh yeah.
So that's the problem. You can't. If you're a referee and you mess up, you cannot sit here and be like, oh, everybody booing me. I'm in LA. Now I'm gonna do a makeup.
Everyone knows the makeup call comes.
Nah, dude, because they do that same bullshit in the NBA or like that. They miss a call and then the guy will literally blow on him and they're gonna give him a foul back. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid, and they have to get rid of that, especially in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That complete because if they don't make that call, they don't because he didn't hold him, he touched him and ran with him.
And they're on the 8-yard line, so he still had the 5 yards. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying. It's one thing for the linebacker to hold him and impede the direction that he's running to catch up with him, but he touched him and turned and was running with him stride for stride and jumped over and slapped the ball away. You know what I'm saying? If they were gonna make the call, they should have called it on the one where he was in a rear naked choke.
That's what we're saying. Like, so like if you look at it in a perfect world, it all balances out, right? The call that should have been made got made. You know what I mean? Because if we're looking at this and the Rams lose a game, we're talking about the call that never happened. You know what I mean?
Which is
cool.
Never
happened.
But you can't, which is cool, right?
It's not cool either way. I've had it happen to me both ways. That shit sucks both ways.
Referees mess up.
Take the bias out of it and look at it from like an unbiased perspective, Howard, or like that. If it was the Bills, say the Bills were on defense, right? And y'all had him in a rear naked choke the last play, right? And Milano makes a play like that. You'd be sitting here on this podcast right now, pissed off, crying that the league needs to get rid of this, that call it like it is, all right, that, and it needs to be a clean slate every time it's a new down, all right, that. You wouldn't be advocating for like, oh, it's a makeup call if it was the Bills. And if it was the Cardinals, I'd be feeling the same way. So I'm trying to be objective and look at it from the aspect of every time it's a new down, it's a clean slate. Doesn't matter what happened after that. You don't need to, and especially like that's the thing I can't get past. Like, it's like crunch time. It's 2-minute drill, red zone. This play call, this flag that you're throwing alters the entire game from, because now the Bengals have to get 4 stops in a row to get the ball back because they're not settling for a field goal. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? The Rams scored. I guess you could put on the Bengals like, okay, well, they still scored after that, but they gave him the ball on the 1. It would be more bad on the Rams to not score than the Bengals to not get the stop on the 1 yard line.
My thing is, don't you respect Andy Reid more? Andy Reid, after he lost, the Tom Brady went down, scored a touchdown. He said he need to change the rule. And after he beat y'all, he still kept that same energy. He said, no, y'all deserve a chance to touch the ball. That's respectable, right? But my thing is, if it was your team, you would not say that same thing like K-Wall said. You would be out here outraged like, he didn't do it. You cannot do it. Referees are going to miss calls. That's the human aspect of the game. Referees are going to miss it. Sometimes people get away with a hold that, hey, it happens. That's the human aspect of the game. But you cannot sit here and be like, all right, bro, we missed this one call. We hearing boos. We're getting feelings from the crowd, all that. That's not right. You got to call the game how it is in real time.
True. Do you think that the referees tried to give Cincinnati their get back with that offensive holding penalty when Kupp caught the first touchdown? Do you think that was their their get back? Because I didn't see a hold. I just heard them say they didn't show the replay of it. They just said offensive holding offset.
Yeah, that one. That was.
But by then, I mean, the Rams were on like the 3 yard line, so it didn't even matter, and it was like second down. The next, the play after that, they got this touchdown anyway.
I don't know. I don't think that. So the one thing that
if this happens to you, what are you saying? If you're a Bengals fan, right?
So obviously,
what
right.
Are you saying?
So if this happens to my team, yes, I'm mad. I hate the refs. I always hate the refs. I'm a Bills fan. I hate the refs. But as a fan, I would have also realized that, the play before that would have been it should have been called. No. So it would have made it feel.
You forget that we know you. You forget that we know you. Okay, I know you. Oh, no, you would not. No, you would not. You'd still be mad about it.
And it's a Super Bowl, bro. There's not no game where there's not no week 14 game where we still got 3 weeks left. Who cares?
And Bills Mafia would have some GoFundMe for whatever number was on the back of the jersey of the ref, and they'd be donating $48 or whatever his number was. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, we started that.
Impeach him.
You see Kansas City fans try to jack that from us and try to copy us?
Yeah, bro, because they're trolling you. Y'all can't beat
lame.
Them. They're trolling y'all.
Y'all are they're lame.
Hey man, it's lame to help charity, I guess.
I knew you were gonna say.
Oh Lord!
Speaking of the Chiefs, do you see a thing about Pat Mahomes and his girl or whatever like that?
Yeah, I would tell her to stay home.
You saw that thing the other night?
Yeah, you're not allowed to come anymore. I'm out here getting because honestly, part of the reasons I don't like him is his girl and his brother. I see those TikToks and I'm like, stop it. So that's good for him. He deserves that. Keep him home. Take their phones away too. Give him a bedtime.
All right, so there's a big effort right now, right? With the Rams talking about bringing everybody back. Do y'all think they should do that? Do y'all think that will contribute to another championship? Because we seen Tampa Bay last year do the exact same thing. Bring everybody back, thinking that the same team can win the championship the same way. Do you think that's the way to go?
If they can afford it. I mean, I think Whitworth, the left tackle, I think he's retiring. So that's like $11 million clear off the books or something like that. I was reading somewhere. So there's some money there. There's some guys that they're probably not, like Ashawn Robinson. They're not going to bring him back for his $5 million. You could do without him. But you could restructure Floyd's contract. You could extend Stafford to clear up some money. You could give Cooper Kupp his extension now. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably what he's going to want is his extension now because I don't think he repeats a season like this again. So it'd be best to cash in on a season like this. Any agent would tell him to do that. I mean, there's ways to do it. I mean, the only guys that they really need to bring back is OBJ and if they can, and Von Miller. But one dude that definitely would get his contract restructured or cut and brought back would probably be Robert Woods. His 4 years, $50 million. I mean, it would be smart for them to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean.
So this same team win the championship next year?
No, but they make a run. They sell tickets. You have to because Rams
what if Rodgers leaves? if Rodgers leaves the NFC? Do you think
He's not? You see what happened? They signed his favorite quarterbacks coach from like 2012 to 16, and they said like apparently this is a really big deal. Like it was part of the things they had to do to bring back Aaron Rodgers, and now everyone thinks he's going to stay there, which I said he should just stay there to begin with.
Well, what if Rodgers is like Kawhi Leonard? You know, how Kawhi Leonard told Lakers he's coming to Lakers. Let all of free agency go by, and they wasn't able to sign nothing, and he went with the Clippers.
No, he's not going to do that.
Yeah, I think Rodgers probably going back. So I'm gonna go to Howard first. Let me ask you, your team in the AFC, right? Me and K-Wall's teams are in the NFC.
Yeah.
What do you think the future is like for Joe Burrow?
Honestly, he's gonna run, or he's gonna be in contention. Him and Lamar are gonna have some battles for that division title, right? Count the Steelers out, the Browns, Bankers not fighting anyone for that. I'm sorry, but then you look at the Colts, Titans, Tannehill. I don't really care about the Titans anymore. Then you look at the Bills; they got the other division. I mean, we're pretty good. I'd be a little bit worried about us. And then Kansas City. And
I don't know if you guys have the division wrapped up though, but all right.
Oh yeah, we got.
Yeah, Mac Jones.
That's line sealed.
Mac Jones getting another year in the system. I don't know.
Yeah, if he throws 3 passes, they'll win. But anything over that, they lose. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. And you got the Chargers; they're on the up. The Patriots, maybe on the up. The Raiders. I don't know what we see next year.
Miscellaneous.
Question mark. So here they're at an AFC championship or bust type of team now. Like, welcome to the big boys. So anything below that, they're gonna come after you, and especially if Zach Taylor, you get that contract he got. Like they're in the limelight now. Like everyone knows Cincinnati, everyone knows Joe Burrow. So it doesn't get any easier. This is the easiest he'll ever have it this season in the NFL. So after this, like, welcome to the big dogs.
Okay, well, what you think?
Yeah, that's a good point, Howard, because they did fly under the radar to the Super Bowl. They caught no scrutiny for the bad games and the good games. You know, they just went radar. Next year, it's going to be under a microscope. As far as in the AFC, like Howard said, I mean, they're like 6 deep with like X factor, like super studs, quarterbacks. You know, just Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs are always good. Josh Allen and the Bills. Herbert can elevate the Chargers. Lamar, former MVP. You got Joey B. And then, 5. I can't count what's his face, Deshaun right now. But yeah, you guys,
maybe.
What did you say?
Trevor Lawrence, maybe. Trevor Lawrence.
Anyway, like I said, I don't know about all that.
Maybe.
But I think their path to the AFC Championship is still within reach. But, I mean, they got to go through a gauntlet. Because I think this is the last year you don't see Lamar and Justin Herbert in the playoffs. I think that they make the playoffs for sure next year. So that AFC, just as a whole, no matter who's seeded wherever, it's a gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? That number 1 seed, that bye week is going to be so huge next year for the AFC. You know what I'm saying? Because any team 2 through 7 could beat each other. That's how deep that – because whoever makes it 2 through 7 really probably has an above average quarterback that can get them over the top, you know. So it can be done.
Do y'all see him winning a Super Bowl? And if so, how many?
He maybe gets 1. He might get 1.
Yeah, maybe. So it might not be with this squad, right? It might be with the next squad. You know what I mean? The next generational of talents coming through the offense. Because I think this squad, their time was this time around, because I don't think, first off, they can't keep Chase and Higgins together. If they do, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I don't think they will. They'll have to make a decision there. So you're never gonna have that much talent on that side for a while until they go through a little rebuild phase or retooling phase. So it's gonna take probably 5 to 7 years to see them win.
Do you really not think they can keep Chase and Higgins together? Because Higgins is a very nice wide receiver, but Higgins,
everyone's gonna pay him top money if he.
Yeah, that's the problem. Someone's gonna throw like big money at him to take him away, and it won't be up to the Bengals because you don't let Chase go. Let's.
Yeah.
I mean, we all agree about that. He's not going anywhere.
No.
You know.
So do you not think that Higgins will take around 15, 16 mil a year?
Not on his big contract.
If Miami's
only
offering him,
comes once.
if somebody else is offering him 22, you know what I'm saying? Like I would. I mean, you got to admit, at the end of the day, you know, they got to do what's best for them.
And
He might be for the city.
You get 2 chances to franchise him. They're going to franchise him.
That gets
So
expensive.
you're saying that they might do him like Allen Robinson probably. So I mean, yeah.
I think Higgins will be there for the next 5 to 6 years. I think they're gonna go ahead and give Jamar his money. He gonna be somewhere around the 20-21 mil a year. And I think
he can be that D hop range Chase for sure.
Yeah.
I think Higgins, they can make it work because like you're saying, I think they can make it work, right?
Boyd not gonna be there no more. They just
because when Boyd won't be there, and by the time Higgins and Chase are ready for contract extensions after a rookie deal, Mixon will be like 32. That'd be like, or he'll be like 31. They're not gonna pay him again. So it can be done. You could give Chase 21 million, and then you could give Higgins like Keenan Allen money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just kind of backloaded a little bit. It can be done because if Joe Burrow wants them both, he's gonna have them both. But what I was gonna say on the Bengals window, it's either next year or like Howard said, it's gonna be 7 years from now because they've I'm catching like the Phoenix, you know, the Phoenix Suns, like their window was kind of last year, even though they're playing well this year again. Their window to win it all was like last year. Same thing with the Bengals. There was a lot of injuries at important positions in the AFC that allowed them to get to this point. Not taking anything away from them, but
I kind of disagree.
That was their shot right there a little bit.
I disagree with y'all. To me, what I'm seeing is kind of like you said, the AFC is kind of open, right? With the AFC being open, to me, all right, so Buffalo gonna be solid for a while, right? But they're not unbeatable to me. They're not like just something that I look at and I'm like, oh, damn. We talked about the Chiefs, how their window is coming to an end where everybody getting older, right? The Chargers, it's a throw up 50-50. I think that honestly, the Bengals will be able to beat the Chargers going forward in the future. With the Ravens, it's a throw up with them.
True. Yeah.
The thing is, I don't feel like nobody in the AFC just got it on lock. I don't think it's just like, okay, yeah, that team is coming out. So I think they could sneak into another Super Bowl within the next 3 years, 4 years. I don't think they're like a window necessarily because all these quarterbacks are around the same age. And now it's as wide open as it is, every year teams are going to be getting better and better. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I see your point. I guess I could see that happening. I could honestly see them being like a perennial Super Bowl contender every year as well. If they can keep the continuity together and improve the line. That's the only thing this hinges on. If they refuse to improve the line, this was their window, and they're not going to get back there again because the line's going to keep them from going any further than they want to. You know what I'm saying? They're just going to get to the playoffs and get bounced because they're going to catch a team with a good defensive front, and it's going to wreak havoc. But if they do everything like you're saying, they keep the continuity of like the nucleus of the roster, like your best players like Burrow, Higgins, Chase, Jesse Bates, Hendrickson, and Hubbard on defense. Like you could build around those 6. Yeah, they could continue to compete because it's going to be the more they keep winning, the more of attractive of an destination it'll be for free agents. Yeah. And guys will be like, I mean, this is a young, like you saw with Arizona. A lot of vets wanted to go to Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Because it was an explosive offense, and they thought, you know, we were on the rise. You see it in the NBA too. So it's a 50-50. Like they can continue to compete. They're gonna be good as long as they have Burrow back there with Higgins and Chase and stuff. As far as going to a Super Bowl, I think they're making another appearance within the next 3 years. I think they make one more.
Yeah, I don't see this as yesteryear. I don't see this where it's Peyton and Brady on top, and all right, Ben could maybe, Phillip could maybe. I don't see it like that. I see it all as all right. The most talented we know is Pat, right? We know Pat is the most talented, but as long as Pat is there, as long as all of them are there, they're never going to be able to build on their defense.
Yeah, the most talented is Pat. The biggest dog got to be Allen. Allen is a dog.
That's my dog.
The best like pure thrower is probably Herbert and Burrow, 1, 2, and then I mean the most explosive is Lamar and oh boy, if he plays.
So many mouths there. Like you're I don't know. So if you look at the way Cincinnati got there, like they gave up 9 sacks and Tannehill threw 4 picks, and they just barely beat the Titans. And like the way they got there, it's never going to happen where Pat Mahomes is going to throw a second half of a game. You know what I mean? It's no this all this isn't going to line up so perfectly.
So do you
It's
think
so
all their
hard to
wins were
get there.
flukes, sir? You think all their wins were flukes? You don't think the defense have played a part in any of this?
But you know what's going to happen though? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Howard. My fault.
Yeah, because it's just, and now you got to think about the schedule, right? So now they're not playing. They played the 4th place schedule, right? Now they're playing the 1st ranked schedule. So now this is, people don't underestimate this part. Now they're playing every single winner of each division once a year, on top of the people they already play, and then on top of going to the NFC. So the schedule gets tougher. So having that top seed gets harder and harder the more the more you're better, the more you're known. That's why it was so important for them to kind of like capitalize on this, like this Cinderella story, because it's never ever going to be this easy. And with all these quarterbacks, I see every single year one quarterback stepping up and taking it from the AFC, and he kind of already has his chance. I don't see him.
So which is fine, right? But the thing that you're not also looking at, sometimes certain teams just match up better with certain teams. What if it's like this? What if Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs are the Bills kryptonite, right? And y'all end up playing first, second round, right? Or y'all play second round. And then let's say, what if the Bengals are the Chiefs kryptonite? Certain teams match up better with certain teams.
I know what you're talking about. Like
playoffs
teams
lay
having
out.
other.
You said what?
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. No, I was agreeing with you. Go ahead.
But yeah, so the way certain playoffs could lay out is it's going to be a dogfight between the Bills and the Chiefs for years to come, right? And then the Bengals could sneak in like they kind of did this year, because y'all gonna have dogfight after dogfight after dogfight, and the Bengals gonna get the scraps.
I mean,
it's true.
Why ain't no scrap though?
You said what?
No, but he's making a point, because it's true. It's like that in the NBA. There's some teams that just have that team's number. Like, it's nothing they can do. They're kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? For the longest time, you know what I'm saying, the Suns in Sacramento, no matter how good we were, just could not beat them in Sacramento. They just had our number in Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? And it could be the same thing. Like he said, the Chiefs could be the Bills kryptonite. The Bills could be the Titans kryptonite. And the Bengals, if they get that schedule where they avoid all 3 of them to the AFC Championship and they catch the Chiefs, they're kryptonite, and they could find a way back there. You know what I'm saying? Like how the Saints are, like the Saints, regardless of who's at quarterback, they were the Tampa Bay's kryptonite the past 2 years. It's just like that. Like how for us, Seattle playing us at home, we always lose that game for some reason, no matter how good we are and how bad they are. They just got our number. Like you in Jacksonville, you know what I'm saying? They just got your number.
Happened once, and they got our number.
Okay, all right. Like y'all in State Farm Stadium in Arizona, they just got y'all's number.
Happened once, but all right.
All right. So there's 2 more things I want to get to on this show, right? The first one we're gonna talk about if Aaron Donald retired this 2027 Hall of Fame class. Yo, this got the chance to line up to be ridiculous. Right now, we got Aaron Donald, we got Tom Brady, and we got Ben in this class. Do y'all think this is going to be one of the greatest classes?
If he does, yeah, but I don't know why he would. Like, I mean, like personally, if he feels like he doesn't want to give anything more of the game, go do it. But I think he has a lot more to give before he's like at the age where he should really think about retiring. But I mean, it's personal. But if he does retire, yeah, I mean, you got the GOAT, you got Big Ben, you got another, quote, maybe GOAT defensive player. I mean, that's about as tough as it gets.
Yeah.
A lot of pedigree in that class right there.
Yeah.
Especially with Tom in it. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
I think like either Donald is taking it like he won his ring, he wants to retire at the top of his game, or he's using his dominance in the Super Bowl to get in the ring as leverage to either get a bigger contract or for them to keep his boys around him or something like that. Because right now, I mean, he's got the Rams and a vice, you know what I'm saying? If he wants a new contract, you have to give it to him the way he's playing. He completely disrupts an entire team's offensive capabilities, and it showed in the Super Bowl. So I think he still has a lot of good football years left in him. So
All right, so to end this show, right, I want to give K-Wall the floor to talk about Hitman Collar and what's going on with his organization.
Dang, man. All right. Yeah, so there's been some conflicting reports coming out of Arizona. Kyler, pointing the finger at the organization. The organization is indirectly pointing the finger at him, but that's what they're doing. And Kyler is what, 23, 24. We've all been 23, 24 in our own, lives, and hard-headed. It's us against the world. Everybody's out to get us, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's gonna be some growing pains. You've got a young quarterback that's comes from a pedigree of always winning, you know what I'm saying? And he never lost a game of high school or something crazy like that. So yeah, he kind of has it. Does he have an ego? Yes. Yes, he does. You know what I'm saying? We heard about it when he's at Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of a dick, you know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. But I think with the problem with with upper management's problem with him is they take the good with the ugly, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, he's an explosive player. First half of the season, like I said, MVP, hands down, every year, right? But the ugly is that, he's got bad body language when the team, when it's time for him to rally the team, you know what I'm saying? His body language is, I'm going to sit by myself at the end of the bench, on some emo shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to, fire the team up. Like how you see some quarterbacks go to their line and fire them up and go talk to players. He's not like that, you know what I'm saying? So they're looking at like, why do we want to invest, hundreds of millions of dollars in a guy that the locker room doesn't even back him like that, you know what I'm saying? When it gets tough, you know what I'm saying? They can't rely on their leader because the quarterback's the leader of the team regardless, you know what I'm saying? So
let me ask you this, right?
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. So I dealt with this a lot in Carolina, but Cam eventually grew into a better leader. Cam used to do the same shit back in the day. Cam used to go sit at the end of the bench, put the towel over his head. His body language looked bad, but he grew into a leader. Do you feel like it's unfair for this organization to be doing him, like putting him out on Front Street right now instead of letting him grow?
But yeah, I think it is because I think Kyler is. I don't know Kyler personally, but just based on what I see, I feel like he could be a really emotionally charged kind of guy and act out of like emotion. So with them, yes, like you said, them putting him on Front Street and kind of indirectly pointing the finger at him, using him as a scapegoat for the reason why we lost right that. I feel like that he's the type of guy that now he doesn't trust the upper management. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, does it hinder his growth? Because I feel like for some guys, this would work. This would push them in like, yo, I do need to be, you're right. I need to be better. I need to be, a leader. I'm the quarterback of this team. This is my team. I feel like for him, it's kind of like, oh, they're trying to blame it on me. And no, the run game, we could have run the ball. We couldn't stop nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when the finger pointing starts, and then there's the division in the locker room. So I don't think this did nothing. This changed nothing. If anything, now there's a awkwardness between the owner, GM, whoever, and your franchise quarterback. Because like Dwyer was texting me about where else are we gonna go? What else are we gonna do? This is the best quarterback we've had since Carson.
Yeah.
What it's not like he's expendable. You know what I'm saying?
So he's still there. You think he's still y'all got for the future, or
we have no choice. We have no choice. We burnt the 10th round pick on Rosen, circled back and burnt the first overall pick on him, and then paid Cliff all this money over like that. We have no choice. If I was the owner, I'd be like, y'all got to figure it the fuck out because we can't let this blow up in our face now. We've given up too much. We got no money and we're stuck with y'all. So y'all got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
We're stuck.
Yeah, that's a rough situation to be in. But
it's like Minnesota Vikes. They stuck with Kirk. Y'all got to figure it out.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? We got to figure it out.
My thing is, at least y'all got a quarterback,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, my thing, at least y'all got a quarterback, It's rough out here for some franchises.
Don't be like that, bro. Y'all gonna get somebody, bro. Y'all gonna get blessed. Watch.
Hey, man,
Jimmy G out there. Jimmy G out there, bro. And if anything,
No.
you can bring back Teddy Two Gloves.
Sam, I'm telling you, Sam's got something to do.
Like I said, congratulations.
Sam had the whole entire world.
Those 3 games.
And you know what happened? With that Thursday night game against Dallas, when they had him on the post game talking to him like he was some franchise quarterback, it was downhill from there.
Yeah.
Downhill from there.
Yo, y'all, he had me fooled. Had me texting a group chat. Hey, Sam Darnold was the best in his draft.
Yeah,
class.
oh yeah, we remember.
Yeah,
He had me feel like I was a genius, bro. I got him for like $4 on our draft, and he was going up there dropping 30. I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking sharp. You know what I'm saying?
yo, but hey, man, hey, good show, y'all. Hey, well, this is it for Stay in Bounds, the sports podcast of the people. I'm your host, Corey P, signing off for Howard and K-Wall. Y'all have a good night, man.
See ya.
Have a good night.